There is activity at one time or another in every part of this building.
Seems like you found something in the middle of the floor. Here, Casey, why don't you hold ghost tube and the case?
Satan.
Whoa.
Why are you here?
To talk to you. Leave.
That was definitely leave. Slate.
Oh, man.
Be quiet. It turned off.
What? This camera's down too.
What is going on with the cameras?
That was footsteps, man. That was someone running up and down the hallway.
Yeah. Go.
Actually, this was built as a farm. The people who built it built the original front end of the present building, and they lived here for very few years and packed up and left. The farm was then sold to another man who almost immediately turned around and flipped it to the county. Now, the county was under a mandate at that time to provide for the poor of the area, so they took advantage of the farm. And they says, okay, this is a good place to do this. And it was for maybe 2 or 3 people. So they had a building with, they thought would take care of things. Almost immediately, they was overrun. They had the place packed up pretty well. They commissioned an addition to the building, which would be the main hall now. And that became overfilled. And they commissioned the West Wing and eventually the bakery kitchen area and the library for heating for the facility. And it was kind of a different time. A lot of people want to forget about it, a lot of people want to gloss over it. It was a different time. It was a time before we had things like welfare, food stamps, things like that to cushion the poverty of the people. The living conditions were overcrowded. There was a lot of bugs in here. There was a story of one guy who was in here. He would sleep on a pile of rags outside of his room because his mattress was so bug infested he couldn't get into it without getting bit up. It was not necessarily the best place in the whole world. It wasn't like going to a modern hospital where things are constantly taken care of. Another thing that happened here that people don't realize is me as a farmer, I could come in and sign somebody out to come work on my farm. I did not have to feed you well, but I had to feed you, which meant you didn't necessarily get the meals that we had at the house. And you were basically signed off to me until I was finished with you, and I bring you back here and sign you back in. Well, they had the overcrowding problem, and there was not a whole lot they could do about it. Again, they wasn't exactly set up to do this. They had never contemplated this. A lot of people wound up in here. Maybe they had an accident, couldn't work anymore, lost their farm, lost their home. They had to move here because they was poor. They wasn't supposed to have children here, but there was children here. Eventually, the state did make a rule that children had to be put into a separate place and taken care of, which accounts for youth development centers and youth homes that, if you get back in your history, most every county had one. And it was strange and unusual by today's standards. I can't imagine this was a great place to live, but then again, 𝐌𝐿𝐄𝐑𝐿 gets a lot of rap for being a nasty, bad person, and he was not a good person. But by today's standards, in politics and stuff like that, you look at 𝐌𝐿𝐄𝐑𝐿, and he was no better, no worse than any politician we've got today. He would beat you. He's been known to get people out in the fields where they're not doing their job and just taking to beating them. And 𝐌𝐄𝐑𝐄 was seen a few times doing that by neighbors on neighboring farms. The people didn't get to eat as well as what they should have been because there was food allotments for the poor farm. He would take the gravy and basically leave the sprouted potatoes for the people to eat. You know, they didn't get necessarily what the government had allotted for them. He was reportedly had parties in the front while the people in the back didn't get fed their proper meals and stuff during the day, and he would have a party up front and treat the politicians at that time very lavishly. Oh yeah, if you was walking down the street and you was acting a fool, maybe you'd just come out of the bar and you'd had a couple, 3 too many drinks, and you saw one of your buddies out there and you started palling around with him and acting a fool. He would come over and snag you up and just drag you into the poor farm. It upped the number of people in here, which meant the government gave him more money for food and stuff like that. And if you was lucky and you was pulled off the streets, you would sneak out in the middle of the night or during the work day and run back home where he couldn't find you and make like nothing ever happened. And there was a lot of escaping here. Well, they had the little room where they secluded people. It has the shackles and stuff in it, and if you came in, and people get the idea that, you know, just being bad, you got shackled down there. My terms are, if you've been out drinking all night and you come out of the bar and you said, I'm gonna whoop everybody in town's ass, and the police caught you, they would bring you down here and they'd probably shackle you up until you sobered up. Another reason for the shackles in the rooms would be people having epileptic fits, where they just get absolutely violent, and that was their way of dealing with them at the time. They had no idea what epilepsy was or any of these things, and they would chain them up until they finally settled down and they could return them to the general population. The woman in the oven, she had a baby that, and there are rumors that there may have been twins, but one of them she felt was cold one night, and she thought, well, I'll take it down and put it in the oven and get it warmed up again. At that time, the baby was probably dead. She brought it down and did stick it in the oven. The next morning, the bakery crew got up, and you don't look in the oven because you trust that it's empty. You build the fire up, and it basically finished baking the baby before they realized what was going on. The inmates woke up, and of course they smell this baby bacon, and they're thinking, oh wow, we're having roast turkey or roast beef for dinner today or something like that. They're making it already, and come to find out it was a baby. When we first started volunteering here, one of the first jobs we did was try to clean up around the building so you could actually get a sense that somebody was here. One of the first things we did was we got the lawnmowers running, and I was out mowing next to the pavilion, and as I'm mowing, I could see a guy in probably 1800s dress, and he was standing there watching me. I looked straight at him and he disappeared. We was having a meeting out here one day, quite common thing to happen around here, but we was standing here and kind of gathered around in the circle in the hallway, and I was standing in front of one of the doorways, and I felt something tugging at the back of my shirt. And I thought, well, I've got my shirt caught in the corner of a display, and I wiped my hand across the back of it. There was no display or anything there, nothing to catch my shirt on. And I'm standing there for a couple seconds more and started tugging on my shirt again. Turn around, look, there's nothing there. And I turned around and we was talking, and it happened a third time, and I says, okay, I'll just step out of the way and let you see what's going on. And then it quit. And as we was walking towards the room that we was discussing at that time, I said, there was somebody pulling on the back of my shirt, and the maintenance man at that time says, it was probably the little boy that runs around in here. He had seen the little boy out in the barn, and when he came to the building to say who left their little kid running around out in the barn, there was nobody here, no visitors, no nothing. A few days later, some people brought in a picture, and he looked at it and he says, that's the little boy that was out in the barn. And these people had no connection to this picture. They just found it and thought it was interesting, thought we might like to have it. And that was the little boy. So there's a grand chance that there is a little boy running around in here who likes to be ornery. A friend of mine's wife was wanting to see the dungeon. I took her down to the dungeon, showed her, and she says, I wish I could communicate with these people somehow. And I says, well, download the GhostTube app. Her and I walked back into the cobbler shop, and she looked at her phone and she says, it finally downloaded. No sooner than she said that than it said, get out of the basement. And she looked at me and she says, did that say what I thought it said? And I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. And then it came back and it said, now. And she says, what do we do? And I said, let's get out of here. I said, I don't want to upset them. That was probably the most blatant and comprehensive sentence I've ever heard come out of GhostTube. And that was directed at her. So we did abandon the dungeon, didn't get back. The one room that really bothered me for a long time was at the end of the hallway to the right. That's the WW room. I kind of get a funny feeling when I go in there, and I've gotten to the point now where I go in there and just I've made peace or something with whatever occupies that room. That's also a room where Paranormal Quest was here doing an investigation. They was up on the second floor, and they heard noise from the first floor, and it came down, and the desk chair in front of the roll-top desk had been moved, and that was the only thing that would make that kind of a noise. There is activity at one time or another in every part of this building. The one time I was down in the shop working, and I turned around and I saw what looked like a very small pinhole in the water line. It makes like a mist, and it was coming down. And I thought, oh God, now we've got a bad water line. I got to repair that. The water lines were probably 15, 20 feet that way. There was no water in that area. And it kind of came down, and as I watched it, it struck me as being like the transporter on Star Trek. And I thought that was very unusual, and then it just kind of went away. I would say encounter our director had that he could physically say was an encounter. He had it upstairs in the upstairs hallway. So that is something that just kind of happens around the entire building. If you look, you'll see different things, like the little black fuzz balls. Every now and again, you'll see them. Sometimes you see people in here. I've come in here and saw people standing looking in a door, and walk back to the office saying, hey, we got somebody taking a tour. Nobody in the office. I turn around and look back up the hallway, and they're gone. It's just about every room in here you can find some kind of activity at one time or another. I'm going to refer you back to a book. It's called Haunted Hills and Hollows by Kevin Paul. He refers to the fact that a lot of times these energies come at the confluence of water. So we have a creek running down this way, we have a creek running down this way. This sits on somewhat of a self-wet spring. This is probably like a portal to them.
After our amazing interview with Dave, the crew and I set up cameras on each floor of the West Wing and head outside to see if anything is captured while the building is completely empty. Zach, you go ahead and roll film too. So we heard something up here making noise. It seems like you found something in the middle of the floor. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. What are the chances? I was going to say you found something.
Introduce ourselves.
Well, to let you know, my name's Danny, and I'm here with some friends. If you guys want to introduce yourself.
I'm Marcus, good friends with Danny.
I'm Casey.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Zach.
And tonight we are here only to communicate with you. We heard that there were some terrible things that have happened to you. I just got a gust of air. It might be.
Temperature does feel like it dropped a little bit, doesn't it? It feels way cooler than it did before we went outside.
Like along here.
I believe the temperature on the REM pod is blinking.
Dude, when we were setting stuff up here, it was sweltering.
If you like that light that's here in the center, can you walk over to it and touch it? It'll light up different colors if you do. We're not here to cause you any harm. We heard about how everyone here was mistreated by a man whose cane sits at the end of the hallway. If you're here, there's also two little balls that if you touch them, they will light up. It'll let us know that you're here. What's your name? If there's something on this floor that you can touch and move, we would greatly appreciate it.
Is it okay that we're here tonight? We're friends, or we can be. Like Danny said, we're not here to cause any harm. We hope it's okay that we just came and tried to talk to you this evening.
We heard a bunch of noise up here earlier. And if that's you, can you walk over to this red light and make that same noise? If you walk up to it, and touch it, it'll make those noises. It will prove that you're here. Did you guys hear that? Yeah.
Is that you? You back in one of the rooms? Bro, I just got the coldest fucking chill, dude. Right here. Did you have those 2 marks in your neck already?
No, what are you talking about?
You got 2 marks in your neck.
You think on camera?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll have to go back and look at some B-roll because I've definitely gotten some B-roll shots of you this evening, but yeah, you've got 2 that look like one, yeah, we're very close to each other. One's sort of at an angle, one's going straight across.
I wouldn't scratch my head that way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like,
We'll look at some B-roll later. That's weird. You just said something touched your neck and I didn't notice that earlier. Did you feel hot?
And I'm sweating all day. It's hard to say if anything has touched me or if maybe it was me. After reviewing the footage while getting B-roll and during the tour, I clearly had these scratch marks before the investigation. This is a reminder to film behind the scenes to debunk things that seem like paranormal evidence in the moment of investigating. Watch out for that sensor, man. It's behind the chair, so it might alarm.
Whose room was this?
Can you walk over to this couch, sofa, and can you touch the ball? Oh, that was me, sorry. Can you touch that? Step over the sensor. I want to make a note, guys. Like, I just jumped, right? This cat wall still didn't go off.
Right.
Is there too many of us here? I say let's leave here If activity picks back up again, we'll come back up.
Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you. We'll be back.
Thank you.
You okay, bro?
Yeah, I heard it twice. Once, it was 2% an hour.
Hello?
Is it green?
Hello?
It's playing with us.
Yeah.
It wants to play back.
Do you want to play a game? Do you want to play a game? Touch that red light. Casey, since this was the women's ward, maybe he doesn't want to talk to us because there's a bunch of guys here and you're the only female. What if you take the light down there and, like, in between the room pod and that cat wall, maybe try communicating and we'll just stay quiet.
Alright, hello, I'm Casey. Gonna let the men sit down there. Oh, just kick this. Sorry. Alright. And I'm gonna communicate. So you can talk to me through that. There are these balls that light up and all you have to do is touch them and they'll light up and they'll show you that you responded to me. You could do that, or even if you can make any kind of noise, like a knock, just like this is gonna be me doing this. Can you do that for me? Can you knock on something and let me know you're here? Can't imagine how scary it was to be a woman and be sent here. If you want to talk to me about it, I'm happy to listen. If you want to talk to me about it, I'm happy to listen. Back here a little. Sorry, that's me again.
Was it still you?
It shouldn't have been me that second time, right?
Well, the fourth time.
Can you do that again for me? Are you upset that we're up here? Do you want to communicate with us, or do you want us to go somewhere else?
Have you seen Danny's videos where he asks, can you finish the song? Song.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Guys, while we're here, I'm gonna run just like ghost tube.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, my name is Danny. I know that I introduced myself earlier, but I have this device in my hand that if...
Screen.
There are a lot of screams here that went unheard. Someone heard you? Dude, I keep hearing something like, it's like a metallic.
Yeah, and they turned the clock off, so it's not that.
You're hearing it too, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I've been hearing it for the past several minutes.
Who said scream? Can you tell us your name?
Blacksmith.
Dude, they had blacksmiths here.
Did the blacksmith hurt you? Was he allowed some different privileges?
Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly. Were you one of the women that was put here? I hope it's okay that we're here, because we're not here to hurt you. We just want to talk to you and get to know your story, who you were.
Dude, the whole building is shuddering. Is anybody else feeling that?
Are you feeling something, Zach?
I'm cold. Did you know it felt like someone was walking very heavily downstairs or something? Like it felt like the building was shuddering. No
Why
one
were
else
you
felt
sitting here?
Kimberly, did the blacksmith hurt you? What did he do?
Every time I'm down here, this is the room with the nurse mannequin. And it's not the mannequin that freaks me out, this room freaks me out.
Isn't that the room she said, that's where it would, like, something would follow her down the hall and it would stop right there? That I think she said it was either this
This
room
one or this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if that is Kimberly. Wait,
Oh, you're
I can't-
Kimberly's room.
Kimberly, what room was yours? Can you knock on the doorway that the room was yours?
Sensor. Sorry. Call it. Tim, why don't you come down a little bit further? Kimberly?
Maybe she would trust Casey more.
It's true. You want to call out to her?
Yeah. Kimberly, are you still here?
Is there something here preventing Kimberly from talking?
Casey, why don't you hold this?
Right. Oh, it's... Oh,
Wait, but that shouldn't have.
Maybe. It might have been because the both of you were near it.
But,
It's iffy.
no, that's the furthest I went, right? Like, I didn't go any further than that.
no, because it didn't go off and I handed it off to you.
Kimberly, is that you? You can talk to me. I'm here to help. I'm here to help understand what happened and why you were here. Is someone stopping you from talking to me? Is there someone else besides Kimberly here?
Living room.
There's someone in the living room? What's timestamp on that? Check timestamp on that.
23,
Do
21.
we have cameras somewhere near the living room?
No, dude, it's all in the West Wing in the dungeon.
Slate.
Oh, man.
Be quiet.
What would someone tell us? Like,
Let's just listen for a second.
Ruth.
Is there something on the roof you want us to know about? Did something happen up there?
he said quiet. What does that sound like?
What?
Sounds like a fucking train.
Yeah, it does.
Closed.
Train's closed. Train's closed.
Were you a slave on the railroad? Were you brought to work? Were you brought here to work on the railroad? Did Miss Kimberly help you?
Who said slave be quiet?
Is there someone else here other than Kimberly?
Living room. We were hearing noises at the other end. Is it wanting us to go back to the other end and play this tag game again?
Do you want us to go to the living room? Who are you telling to be quiet? Was it a slave?
Hug.
Hug.
I literally just put my arms like this, and it said hug, and immediately afterwards.
That's weird.
That is a little weird.
Do you want to hug one of us?
Hospital.
Hospital?
What room's right behind me?
Oh, God. Casey, go in there. Alarm.
That was me.
This is going to be Zach.
Is this your room? Is it okay that I'm in here? Are you in this room?
What is this?
What is this?
Maybe it's talking about the device.
So this is something you can talk to, and I can hear what you're saying to me, and I can respond to you. So anything you say right now goes through this, and I can hear you. I hope that was understandable.
Is this Kimberly's room?
Whose room is this?
What was that? I just heard it too. What was that? I just heard it too. that was something like rattling. It sounded like it was beneath us.
Do you know what's making noise right now? Are you still here?
What is that?
Your light?
This is a light. Is this what you mean by my light?
We're gonna get out of here for a little bit,
We'll leave you be.
but we do have some devices up here that if you want to touch them, you're more than welcome to.
Thank you for talking with us so far.
Yeah, thank you.
To go down to the second floor and then the dungeon.
A lot of knocks, a lot of weird noises.
Was it just me up there, or was it like getting extremely hot?
I actually felt okay.
It kept fluctuating for me. It's sweating in me cold chills.
Oh, dude, I was like,
It's still
I felt
recording,
under
right?
pressure.
It turned off.
What?
Yeah. I mean, you saw it on, like I showed you it recording.
Yeah, before we.
It's off now. It looks like it got a few minutes of something.
did something down here turn the camera off?
Oh God, my ear just started ringing.
Mine was doing that upstairs.
Yeah. Is there anyone down here with us? Is there anyone down here with us?
The room's going off again.
Dude, we were up there. And it's still going.
Like 20 minutes.
I think it's
Yeah,
too
quit.
many people up there. Maybe.
Is this the chapel? No, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because it's so last.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're gonna need that for sure.
Is there anyone down here right now? We heard some noise upstairs. Do you want to make those noises again?
There's a device on the floor here that if you walk up to it and if you touch it enough, it'll turn red and make a noise. You guys didn't say anything, right? I thought I just heard something go like, yeah. You guys didn't say anything, right? I thought I just heard something go like, yeah. Is anyone in this section of the building with us? probably me because I went.
Oh, no, that's what I heard. I can hear your shoes.
Who lived down here? What was it like here?
Halt.
Whoa. I think it just said hall.
Right here.
What did it say?
It sounded like hall.
That's what I heard. The word went away before I could get to it, but I have it recorded, so.
Was this where you slept in the hall instead of sleeping on your bed? The bugs used to be pretty bad in here. Sometimes people would sleep in the hallway. Can you tell us your name? My name's Marcus.
Do not.
Do not. Do not what?
Why are you here?
To talk to you.
Me.
Yeah, you. Who are you? Dude, that was like instant, one after the other.
Yeah.
No, that was footsteps, man. That was someone running up and down a hallway.
Sound like somebody beating on the door to me.
Was that you making that noise?
Who's running around upstairs? You playing games with us?
It sounds like the ring bot is still going off.
Well, I mean, we definitely just heard either banging or footsteps upstairs.
I thought someone was dragging across the floor.
We all heard it.
That was loud, whatever it was.
We all heard that. Fucking.
What? What?
Fucking bat.
Wait, what?
There's a bat up there?
Yeah. Once I saw him fly that way, it scared the piss out of me. I knew we kept hearing him. Yeah, he flew from right to left.
Oh shit, yeah, there he is.
Alright,
Holy fuck.
careful, if you shine your light, he's gonna swoop at you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that will swoop down at you when you see lights.
Well, good to know there's a fucking bat.
Yeah,
That could have been the banging noise then.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that was.
That was pretty heavy. I don't know if I would roll that up to a bat.
Well, I mean,
You guys want to take 5?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do that.
Big snake. Yo. The Pavotube is dead.
Oh. I feel kind of queasy.
Do you?
Yeah.
So. Oh no! What the fuck? This camera's down too.
What is going on with the cameras?
It's reading full battery. It must have recorded for like a half hour. But this is I've used this so many times. Like it's recorded for like 60 plus minutes before. So we're now recording on the spirit box. Marcus is going for the SS method. And I'm about to start GhostTube. Is there someone down here with us? Oh, that was me. Sorry, guys. Here, Casey, why don't you hold GhostTube and the case?
Satan.
Whoa.
Trying to come through. No voices yet. Keeps
Satan?
lowering and raising in frequency, but nothing's coming through.
Are you calling someone Satan? What is that in reference to?
Getting music with static over top of it.
Try to remain still and with your eyes closed.
Sorry, yeah.
Sensory deprivation.
Is there anyone down here with us?
Something's trying.
Could someone talk
Spike there.
to Marcus? He's holding a device in his hand, and if you speak into it, he can hear your voice. And that will let us know that you're trying to communicate with us. If you want to say your name, who you are, what this place means to you.
Was that like a truck passing outside?
I wasn't paying attention.
I thought it sounded like it, but
Okay.
of static in my left ear. That was like tall boots.
You know what that sounded like? Sounded like that chair moving.
Mm-hmm. That's what it sounded like.
Sounded like something rolling.
Book.
Bug?
Book.
Book. Yeah, it's his book.
Book.
What book are you talking about?
If it says Bible, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
There's that huge one.
Yep,
In the
that's what I was
chapel?
thinking about.
There's also the huge one.
oh, second floor?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, the really, really old one.
Mm-hmm. We'll go put this meter down there.
Are you talking about the Bible?
There's something down here with us. We have a myriad of objects that you can walk in front of. If you walk in front of this device, that will let us know that you're here. There's also a little ball in front of this step.
Danny, you want to try going back towards the barber shop?
Yeah.
Let me see if there's more activity back there.
Yeah. Marcus is about to walk in front of that. Zach, you need to go in because you have the light. After being in the dungeon for over half an hour, we didn't capture anything on the spirit box, but we did capture a few responses on GhostTube.
Don't tell them, maybe.
Kneel.
Neil, you were kind of just kneeling.
Me?
Is it?
Do you want me to? I was setting this down.
It's a weird noise. I've never heard
39.
before.
39.
Is there 39 of you here in this building?
Flame.
Flame.
We decide to head up to the kitchen to set up a static cam before heading into the tunnel in the other basement. So Casey and I are about to climb in the tunnel in the basement where there's supposed to be some weird activity that happens in here. What happened down here?
Front.
Front.
Did the cage hurt you? Who's in charge of you here?
Fuck was that?
You heard that?
Oh yeah.
One of you guys.
Leave.
That was definitely leave.